Alrighty, get on in here. How y'all doing? And let me get to the comments. Welcome to Keep On Growing. And give me a little shout out if you're out there. Say hello. We're going to wait just a couple of minutes. And then we're going to get into the hydroponics, the microgreen grower I've been messing around with. And I'm editing that video right now. So it'll be out tomorrow or Saturday whenever I get done. But while y'all are waiting, say where you're from. Hey, what's up, Dan? And let me do this. We'll do this in the meantime when everybody's coming in here. See if y'all can guess what that is. It's zoomed in, so we got to zoom out. Greg, how are you doing? Toronto? April, let's see, I saw it down there. April, McKinney, Texas. Hello, Juliana. You got your stuff all packed up. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any problems with it, let me know, okay? Like I said, it's I packed them all together. I put Keely's Rock in there, and usually we have all of these just by themselves or with seeds. That's not real heavy, but with a little rock banging around in there, I didn't think about it till I was carrying it around. So let me know how that goes. Kale, Juliana says it's kale. East Tennessee, Michigan. What's up, Tony? How are you doing today? Lansing. How's the weather way up there? Man, here in Florida we rained for 3 straight days with a tropical storm going over, so everything's soaked, the ground soaked, and it went up to 96 degrees today. So it's just like a sauna out there. It's just like walking right into a sauna. It's just overbearing. And let's see, pak choy. I did send you some pak choy. Hello from Mobile. Was that not Mobile? Moline, Illinois. So you're up north too. Let me see where else. Arizona. Rena, how are you? Tornado watch now. Yeah, be careful. Those are the ones that are sneaky, like the little tropical storms. We have the big old tornadoes, hurricanes and that, but then sometimes just a little category 1 or something goes through here and they spin off tornadoes all over the place. Indiana. Let's see, Indiana. We went up there. I think my sister-in-law lived up in Indiana. And is there a place called Normal? Is it in Indiana? I think we had a client. I think we flew in one time and it was snowing up there. And Keely went. We flew in. It was snowing. We rented a van, did our work. She painted all these murals in like a couple of days. And the customers weren't there. They just let us stay at their house, and then we took off. But that was like the first time we were there. All right, let's see what that is. Baltimore, how are you doing? 80s in Michigan. 80s doesn't sound too bad. Yep, it's kale, dino kale. That's our buckets that we went over the other night. And that one stacked 3 high, and we grew dino kale all up and down it. And let's see, Tim, how are you doing?
2.
All right, what kind of tree is that? Good to see you. Pine Haven, Wyoming. We got people from all over the place. Too spooked. Yes. What do we got here? Tucson. Teacher's pet. Yeah. 77. That sounds awesome. Denver. Deborah, how are you doing? We went to Denver one time. We actually drove from here from Florida over there. We stayed, is it Arvada? I'm trying to think. There's a little town where you could actually like see the mountains. They have like a little tiny town square, and there was a little farmer's market right by a Lowe's and some places you can walk on the downtown, like a little bakery and stuff. It was pretty cool. And then the other little downtown right in Colorado. We were staying with a friend, and we could just walk there in the morning. And there was like this section of town had no franchises or anything. When you went to eat, all the restaurants were all kind of different uh, restaurants that weren't franchises. So it's pretty cool. 77 Moringa. Okay, let's see. Aloha. Hey, Neil, how are you doing? What is it now? Hawaii, the land of Dr. Kratky. Good, I'll take rain anytime and put out the fire. Oh, yeah. Are you out there? Fort Smith, Arkansas, middle of the country. Thank you for teaching us. No problem, Adriana. I appreciate y'all being here. This is lots of fun. That's where I am, Arvada. Okay, yeah, that was a pretty cool little town. We were just about, is it 5 or 6 miles south of there where that little downtown section is that you walk around. There's people playing, bands, and restaurants have like the storefront open, and you can like walk by and just like order right there. It was really cool. And then you got Red Rocks and stuff out there. No, that's my sister's Texas. What was out there? Colorado. There was something in the mountains, right? Right there, right close. I know our friend was wanting to drive us out there. We couldn't get out. Old Town. Yeah. Ooh, Fort Lauderdale. Brutal right now. Yeah. You're getting it's all the humidity and everything. And how hot did it get down there? It was like I said, it was 96 up here, and nothing but it was like just steamy weather all day long. Hey, how are you doing? That's our winner from last night. She won 3 of these, and she was new here, so y'all say hello to her. And let me see. Hello from Naples, LH. How are you doing? Texas. Got Carmen, Texas. Awesome. Looks like a brassica. Let's see. Let's zoom out. And to look like it's radish with my little pet lizard down there in the corner.
3.
All right. What's that? Looks like brassica. Is that a nasturtium? No, we like nasturtiums though. We had them growing. Ours died with all this heat. We need to plant some more. And actually, we have some seeds. Red Rock's best concert venue. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's pretty cool. It's like got all the rocks, and they use them as like seating and everything, right? And out there in the mountains. Hello, hey Tanya, how are you doing? That's our guest. And hello, newbies. April saying hello. You said it was a tree. But you can't trust me for everything. Okay, I promise you this one is not a tree. Coast of California. Squash blossom. All right, let's see. And I think everybody's kind of come in. We'll go ahead and I got one more of these. We'll do one more. I did have a squash blossom somewhere. It's a squash without the blossom. South Carolina. Becky, how are you doing? We'll skip that one. You just said squash blossom, right? You were just thinking ahead. You can see the future.
5.
All right, what's that, everyone? Innate Being, how you doing? I'm gonna have your stuff sent out. Seattle is 85 right now. Not too hot. Yeah. Sounds pretty cool. Sure. Sacramento, California. Georgia, Lynn, how are you doing? Texas, here from the Gulf Coast. Nice. Mature squash blossom. Yep. Kohlrabi. Juliana is the only one guessing. Gayla, how are you doing? From in here from Texas. Yep, kohlrabi. Now, can anybody spell it? Did you spell it right? C-H-O-R, kohlrabi. Okay, I guess it's right. What do y'all do with that? Somebody was trying to tell us last night. It's 100 here still. Yeah, I feel for you. We didn't get up to 100. It's just nasty outside. We tried to do everything early in the morning or later at night, and we couldn't get out till afternoon, right at lunchtime, and it was just horrible out there. Black kale. I'll put one more up here, and then we'll get going. And I think that's everybody
6,
coming in here. All right, I know y'all can't guess that. No one's gonna get that one. Hello from Stanfield, North Carolina. How are you doing, Jody? Come on, friends, and play matchsticks. Coleslaw. Nope, not coleslaw. Not matchsticks. It's alive. A cat. Oh, that's beautiful. Here, I'll zoom out a little. Let you see part of it, and I know you still won't guess it. All right, now try and guess. Tanya, cat. Lettuce? Nope, not lettuce. Grated stews. Okay, I'm gonna have to try some. I think that's what somebody said. Somebody else said they cut up like matchsticks and ate it. Cantaloupe. No, it's not a cantaloupe. It's not coral. Moss lichen. Nope, close. There's an eyeball on there. Tomato arrowroots. Nope. Dragon. Nope. Getting closer. Cat. No. Eagle. Nope. I don't think anyone's going to get it. I know. Keely. It's Teachy. Nope. You lose 2. Eagle. Bird. It's a yarn. It's a yarn with eyeballs. Cat eyes. Eagle. Okay, y'all ready? And then we'll get going. It's a cat duck. No, peacock. It's a kitten duck or duck kitten. Nobody got it? All right, nobody got that. Peacock, A1. Okay, yeah, cat duck. All right. Any questions? I'm just going to go over real quick. I started using sand, and let's see. Pull up if I think I've got the clips for my video that's coming out tomorrow. I haven't got it edited yet, but I've got them here if I need to refer to it. Let's see, video file, update, refillable. I think this is it. Okay, so if anybody's been growing microgreens, the video is coming out tomorrow. I haven't edited it. There's no audio or anything on it. Cut the audio just in case. It's just random music and that on there. But you guys know we've been growing microgreens. We've been using adapters like self-growing, and we've been using hydroton or clay pebbles or leca. They go by all those different names. And I'll go over this in the video tomorrow. So if you guys, anybody needs any, has questions in that, it'll be in there too. You can ask questions, but I just want to jump on here and chit chat with you all about it, because you know how our videos go. We just put the information out, and this would be better. Y'all can ask questions in that if you want. What kind of sand? It's play sand, just common play sand. So when people got these and they went to use them, then they had to go like to Amazon or hydroponics store or a nursery and try to find clay pebbles, and there's all different kinds. And people ask me, what size do you use? What brand do you use? Are they organic? Just all these questions. So I'm trying to find something a lot simpler for people. And also the hydroton, the clay pebbles, if anybody doesn't know what that is, I've got a quick picture here where we used to do it. If there's like new people showing up and wondering what's going on. Right there. All right, that's hydroton. And if you use that, it was cool. But when people are cleaning it, like me, I just clean it. I rinse it. I wash it. If it's like really funky from radish and collards and things like that, I would go over and fill it up, put another bucket on top of it, with some water in to hold them down. And I'd put a little bit of bleach or hydrogen peroxide in there, let it sit for a couple of days, and I rinse it. And then I take it and set it in trays. Like it'll pop up here in a second. Have you ever used aquarium gravel as growing medium? Nope, not yet. So we just set it up, so that's hydrogen. That's what we had used. I have not used aquarium gravel yet. The one reason why I was using the hydrogen is because, let me put this a little bigger. I was using the hydrogen was because it's porous and it absorbs moisture and holds onto it for a long time. And I think I put this in my last video. If not, I'll have to put it in again. But when you saw them on the table sitting on those trays, the table itself was 130 degrees, and the sun, it was like 120. The ground around it is about in the 90s, 95. But if you uncover, it was sat there like almost all day, and the top was dry. And if you went and moved it, underneath was still wet. So those things retain moisture. They don't wick up. So if you start out with the hydrogen, you can soak them and put your seeds on top of them and then spritz your seeds. Me, I just toss them in there, and then I spritz it with a little water, and I come back and keep it damp. I don't put too much, and maybe that might be a reason why some people were getting like mold or they were saying it was smelling funny, was because they had too much water in there. I like to keep the level stays down here. And when I put it in, I put dry hydrogen, and I just spritz the top and just keep spritzing it until they sprout and they start throwing down roots. So maybe they were just soaking the hydrogen because that's what they tell you to do. And all the hydroponics people tell you to soak your hydrogen and let it soak up nutrients and soak up all the stuff and then put it in there. I never soaked mine. I just took it dry and just set it in there. But see, so there's a little bit of nuances in all of that. And then when it came to cleaning it, you had to use, I just rinsed mine out, put it in the sun. But like I said, if it got funky, you had to go ahead and either use bleach, hydrogen peroxide. You could cook it. You could take them, put them in a big pot, boil them, dry them out. You could put them in the oven. I don't do that because I'm wary of something with moisture in it. And if you're heating it up, if you put it in there and don't have it low enough, like a dehydrator, and some people get tempted and crank the temperature up. I'm not sure, but I think that these things can like just pop because they're not real tough. They're just extruded clay, and if they got moisture in them and you crank up the heat too much, they can actually pop on you. So they retain moisture. So if you going over and you don't water them, or you're doing like the self-watering thing and the water drops, you can have no water in there, and the ones that were at the bottom will still retain some moisture for a little while. And you have time to come in and fill it back up and refill it. If you use something that's like pebbles and marbles and all of these other things, glass beads, none of those actually hold moisture. They just take up space. So when the water's gone, the water's gone. And what happens with these little pebbles, if you use them for a while, you can see when you go to clean them, the roots of some of these things actually go into the clay pebbles. And some of them will go in. It depends on how long you leave them growing. They can grow into these. And my son's seen them like split some of them in half. So they're going in there after the water and that. So if you have like a glass bead or marbles and things like that, volcanic rock might be the same, but it's a lot chunkier. But most things that people are trying to use aren't really porous. And I tried the sand because sand itself's not porous, but it's real small. So what it did was, since we have the self-watering thing like this, it kept most of the sand stayed moist the whole time. So you can see this thing growing. And then we're using the refillable adapter. So right now, at that point, this is when I would come in and just like harvest it. Or if I needed it to go a few more days, I would just get my little pitcher of water or that bottle and just pour a little water in the side or right in the middle where the bottle's at. I would just pour a little water just to keep it going for another day or two. And that would be long enough for these to be microgreens, and then you would harvest them. Now, if you want them to get bigger, like you see when I grow out the baby greens, then we made the refillable one because that's what people kept asking for. So now you can go ahead and pull the bottle out without disturbing everything. Fill it up and then just drop it back in, and now you're set for another 3 or 4 days. So I made one that fits the Coke bottle. Juliana, I sent you a couple of those like that, and then a couple of the other ones, the regular ones that fit the long neck bottles. So just test it and tell me how that does and everything. So now those with the Coke bottle are not in my shop yet. So if y'all run right over there, it's not there quite yet. I'll get it in there by this weekend. I'm just making this video to show people because a lot of people bought these adapters and I want to show them. And I've been getting a whole lot of questions about the clay pebbles. And I think that this will help people because once you get this, you can use just water if you just want microgreens, like up to that point. If you want baby greens, I use a little bit of nutrients. So you get nutrients and you get you some of these adapters. And then everybody's got like bottles and stuff out of the recycling. You got baking dishes sitting around your kitchen. You can use any container. I've used a shoebox. You can use a meatloaf pan. It doesn't have to be round. So a cereal bowl, just play around with it. Absolutely. Awesome. Christmas in August. Let me see if I missed anything. Do you soak the peas? So I just answered that, right? If you didn't catch it, just let me know. I'll go over it again real quick. Known as leca clay balls, some plant stores. Thank you, Jenny, for telling people. I start all my plants and props in sand. Somehow my brain never connected doing it with microgreens. Yeah, that's what somebody had just asked a while ago if we did it, and I've been toying around with the idea for a while, but the hydroton was working really well, so I just kept using that. And how long do you grow the roots before you place them in another container like the bucket setup? Let's see. All right, so you guys are getting to see this. My video is not even out yet, so other creators don't do this. So I'm giving you a sneak peek, and I'm going to show you. So tomorrow we're gonna plan it out. So you can see I'm just using this regular, see that bag on the right hand side there? It's just play sand. If you want to use anything else, like I said, I'm showing bare minimum, the basics. And if you guys want to do better than that, you can do better than that. And I just got play sand from the store, a big bag. I think it was a 50-pound bag or however big play sand bags are, was $5.63 or something like $6. So hydroton, we're going and getting that for 18-pound bag that would fill up like one of the living walls, was about $30, I think. So you can see how much of this you can do. Now, one reason why I like this too is the hydroton. You can put it in your garden, bury it in your garden, and it acts just like perlite and stuff, and it retains moisture. But these things, like if you're using the sand, I'm going to show you tomorrow how to clean it out. Let me see. I'll put a little picture here. So I harvest it in the picture, but see right there? You're asking about the roots. This thing's a little over, I think it's about 7 days old. But by then, see, you can pull that out and see. Most other people would say like your plants are leggy. When they start growing them, if I didn't have them bunched together like that, and it was real sparse, those microgreens will all be falling over and they would be leggy and looking for the light in that, right? But because they're planted dense, not too dense, but they're planted so that they can all support each other and grow up. And you can see how long they are, and then the roots go down, and the sand and the adapter and that kept everything like at a constant level. So the plants weren't having to adjust every day. They knew right where the water was. They knew where all the substrate is, and the roots grow to where they need to be. And you can see right there. So that right there to me would be perfect to go into a pool noodle or hydroponic cloning collar. It's got long roots on it, and it's got a good stem. So tomorrow I'm going to show you the different ways that I went ahead and harvested it. Everybody said, I said, should I harvest this or should I let it go? And people said, do half. So I did like a third, a third, and a third. And a third of it, I just like trimmed off. And another third, I pulled it out, which you just saw with the roots. and then a third of it I left in there. So tomorrow that will all be in the video. The sun, excuse the lighting tomorrow. It's going to go bright and dark because that storm just went through here, and it was raining for 3 days, and I needed to get out. You see how the microgreens are like really tall, and I wanted to harvest some and eat some. So I figured I'd film it, and we still had a lot of cloud cover. So I'd get the camera set up, the exposure, and when I walk over and start filming, a cloud would go over and it get dark, then light, then dark, then light. And because it was the storm that went by, it was still, the clouds were moving pretty fast. So I tried to adjust the exposure during some of the footage, but I just said, you guys will get the picture. So if you don't mind it going dark and light, that's the reason why I was out there. And while I planted one of these out, was only like about 5 minutes. It wasn't all that long, but in that time I was going, clouds were just like this. See the shadows. So it's just constantly like clouds moving. But I'll do more videos. There's going to be more coming. I got cabbage growing right now, so don't worry about it. But tomorrow I'm going to show you too. I got the roots and how I cleaned it out, the sand and all of that. And if you guys, have been using the clay pebbles and you're having trouble with it, or you're not liking it because it's tough to clean out, I'm going to show you how easy it is to clean out the sand and that. You see a little. There you go. So it came out that clean, and that only took a couple of minutes. So I could actually put all of the footage of me planting it out, and then put all the footage of me harvesting it, and then put all the footage of me cleaning the sand back to back without editing it. And it probably wouldn't be 30 minutes. So planting it out, harvesting, cleaning, and replanting. But people aren't going to sit there and watch 30 minutes of me, going through all of this. So I have to edit it down, but it doesn't take all that long. So just setting it up and everything, you'll see some jump cuts, but really didn't. What we'll do is we'll do a live stream. If I get sand all over here, I'll actually bring one in here and we'll plant it in real time, and quicker than I'm talking to you all right now, I can plant one of these out. So this is what I'm kind of excited about is doing stuff like that, because once you guys get in the habit of it and you see me like just planting and stuff, right? Once you get in the habit of it, and it's like, has anybody worked in a restaurant or hospitality industry or anything like that? Say aye. Let's see. Cool. Barbara Rogers, Hydroton, Amazon. Yeah, you get it on Amazon. Hydroponic shops have it. Nurseries can get it. Where do you get nutrients? What's the product called? I use Master Blend. I got a video on my channel. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, there's a frequently asked questions, and there's a nutrient video right in the beginning. Let's see. Do you include a link to the tutorial video when customers purchase adapters? Yeah, I'm going to make a new one, and this one will be on it, but there's one where I planted out with the Hydroton. So this is basically the same as the Hydroton, and I printed up business cards that I toss in, a little thank you card, and I put a QR code in that to the video, the first one, because that's what the first adapters I made were, I thought that's all I was going to do. I didn't know I was going to be, improving on it. And there's a QR code to that video, which I got pinned at the top. And if you guys have any questions, if you order anything, you got questions, you can always ask me on Etsy. You can DM me on Facebook, email me, and just ask me, and I'll point you to the right videos. But they're all recent too. I haven't been doing this for years and years. These will all be my recent videos. What's the best size of clay pebble? See, and that's why I'm like going for the sand, because most people aren't going to ask me what size sand. And I was getting, and I'm not saying anything against you, Stefan. It's like every single day, I'm getting DMs and emails and comments on like videos that I put out like 6 months ago, like a bunch of questions, and I try to answer them all. But the box that I got was 4 to 16 millimeters. And even when I tell people that, they go, well, that's a big range or whatever. I said, I can't help it. That's what was on the box. So some of them are small, like 4 millimeters. Some are kind of big. It's a little range that's in there. You can get little tiny ones. I will say this: if you use hydroton or clay pebbles, the bigger ones are good for bigger seeds, and the smaller you get are better for the smaller seeds. And this is what I like. See, some people are complaining about the hydroton too. Was that when they put the seeds in, the seeds would some would stay up on top, and that's why I spritz it first. It gets wet. Some of the seeds stick on there, and some will fall down to the bottom. And they think those are all wasted. And when you wash it out, you see some of the seeds in there. But if you let it kind of dry up, the ones that are a little lower down, those will start to sprout too, and you have like more coming up later. But they'd fall through the cracks of the clay pebbles. Here with the sand, you put the sand in, and then you could just smooth it out, right? And once you got it smoothed out, you can put an even layer down. And you saw I put sand in there, just smoothed it with my hand. So it's not like you're using soil. If you guys watch Microgreens, they mix all this different mediums up and everything, and put water in it, get to a certain little consistency, and they put it into their trays, and then they get another tray and they smash it down and they try to get it real even. So when you put the seeds in, it's not rolling all over the place. Here, the sand, you just put it in there, and with the water, and it just levels out. It's just like you're at the beach, and you just rub your hand on it, and you get a nice flat surface. And you put your seeds on there, and I saw it in there. If not, it'll be in the video tomorrow. And after you have the seeds down, you can kind of push them around, get them all level. And then I didn't even cover these. Now, bear in mind, this is like the first couple of weeks I'm doing this. And this was pak choi. I've got cabbage growing. We got a couple other microgreens. But, I'm not saying it's going to work for every type of seed. I know sunflowers, I wouldn't do for sunflowers, mung beans. When I'm growing bean sprouts, you guys saw me growing them in that black tray. I don't need soil. I don't need sand. I don't need my adapter. I don't need anything for mung beans. All I need is a couple of ramen trays. So I wouldn't go ahead and put them in here just to grow bean sprouts. If y'all want to, that's fine. But peas for pea shoots, those grow without any medium for me. I just put those into one of the trays with a screen. So not every seed's going to work for this. And like I said, these are the ones I'm testing. But so far, I'm happy with it. And when you see the cleanup, and who knows, this is an experiment, and we're going to keep on and keep on. And, I might run into some speed bumps down the way or whatever. So we'll just see. And here, the video that's coming out tomorrow, I'm going to explain, that's the ones that I left in there, and I put nutrients back in the bottle. And then you saw the big empty space from where I pulled the microgreens out. So I just put some more sand over there so that the ones that were on the other side, the sand wouldn't just run around that side. And that way those would stay right where they're at. Like I said, plants, I don't like to disturb them too much. Once they get set, you start moving them around too much and they don't care for it. All right, let me see if there's questions here. What's the best size clay pebbles? Lynn, thank you. Yep, yes. Sorry, I joined a little late. That's okay. What kind of sand? Just play sand right from I went to Lowe's. You can go to Home Depot. It's just play sand. It's not the construction sand. Do not get the sand that they use for pavers. Don't get paver sand. There's a glue in there, and that's to go in between your pavers. They throw it down, and then you wet it down, and it's supposed to set. So paver sand has glue in it. You do not want to use that. And thank you for that. See, that clicked in my head. So I'm glad I came on here to talk about it, because I haven't narrated this video yet. So I hope I remember to stick that in there tomorrow. And if I don't, why don't you jump in the comments and let me know so that everybody knows that. But play sand, I'm not sure. I'll go look on it. It says, it's good for growing. It's good for kids play boxes. It's good for, so this one, I feel more safe if it's something that the kids can play in and your plants can grow. Okay. Yes. Play sand. Yes. Thank you. Could sand and pebbles be used together? Yes, definitely. You can give it a try. Like I said, the hydroton will hold moisture. But the only thing is, when you go to clean it up, see how easy it is. I'm cleaning. The sand sinks really fast. Your clay pebbles float. So when you're cleaning it out, your clay pebbles float and the microgreens float. So I get in there, I have a bunch, and I get it filled up more than that, and I push the clay pebbles down and the microgreens come up to the top, and I scoop those out, and I'm having to sit there and constantly, and you can't get them all out. So that's why I let them sit in the sun for like a week and sitting in the 100-degree weather. But you can see this in about 5 minutes. I think the entire video that I cut up was like 5 minutes. That little bit, all I did is put it in there, you wash it around, and all the organic stuff floats up to the top, and you just dump it out carefully. I just pour it out and then don't dump the sand with it. And then you can see how clean the sand comes out. So that was after one use and about 5 minutes of cleaning. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm excited about it so far. And also, let me see. And then just to reuse the sand, I just took a ramen tray with the holes in it and put some paper towel. And then your sand is just like being at the beach. Y'all been there. You see the sand sinks, and then when you put it into a bowl or something, all the water will go to the top. You can pour most of it off right then. And then I put it in that. You can put it in any strainer with cheesecloth, the strainer with paper towels or whatever, just so it can continue to dry out. So I'm having fun with it. Like I said, so I just want to show y'all it's not like the best ever, the clay pebbles you have. I like the sand idea. Yeah, Home Depot, $50 for how much? 1.76 cubic hydrogen. Yeah. Yeah, so play sand. See, this is the one thing too. The play sand, when you're done with it, if you don't feel like cleaning it, you can just throw it in your yard. Especially here in Florida, our yards are all made out of sand, and a lot of people down here buy sand and throw it all over the yard once in a while. So you can grow your microgreens, and you don't feel like cleaning it, just toss it down. The little roots will decompose, and maybe whatever you were growing, a couple of those will sprout up, and you have some volunteer plants. You can toss it in your compost, and even if you're cleaning it, you don't have to be that careful with it, like the roots and things. And if you just drop some on the ground, it's just going to dry up anyway. And our whole backyard was like a total wasteland when we got here a couple of years ago. So any organic matter that we get, we just toss down, and we just keep throwing things down, stepping on it, mulch over it, and just building up just like nature, just like we did in Mother Nature's graveyard, that little compost bin. We do that all over the yard, and we're just tossing stuff down. So hopefully everything just starts to build up. Mushrooms pop up everywhere. There's little critters running around, and hopefully we'll get the living soil going. But that's a whole nother thing that has nothing to do with hydroponics. I like the sand idea. Let's see, Tony, what's Tony say here? I start most of my flower starts in sand. Yeah, that's what someone else was saying. Petunias love it. It's great starting cuttings as well. My internet's lagging. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's what I saw after I was doing this, and I'm editing, and then, whoever's spying on us or whatever, they know what we're looking into. Then I had videos popping up, and I saw somebody else was doing some kind of fig trees. They're like cutting fig trees and then taking those, dipping them in rooting hormones, and they would have the sand in one of the shoe boxes, the plastic shoe box, and just lay those down, cover them up, mist them once in a while. And in about a couple of weeks, they were all rooting. And then he took them and put those in the pots and had a bunch more fig trees. So, yeah, so it's good for a lot of ideas. When you harvested, you get a lot of sand in the greens. No, I didn't. There's a little bit. It's going to be like collards. So you're going to have to be careful. The way I did the first part, like right there where I'm pulling it up, if you're not careful, you are going to drop sand and everything. So that's what, like there, I think I moved the container when I went, because I just thought I was going to show the camera and I'd drop sand all in the bottom. So if you're not careful with it, you will. Like I'm touching that. I wouldn't have touched that with my hands. I was showing the camera. So you can pull it up, cut it, and then where you're holding it, it's not going to have a whole lot of sand. Now, the plants grew up. They were sitting on the sand. Some of them might have a little bit on it, but ours didn't. And what you can do is you put it in your colander, or you fill it up in a bowl, just like you do collards, and all the sand sinks to the bottom, and your leaves float to the top. We just had a tornado watch. Well, be careful. If you need to go, and you guys hunker down and everything. Yeah, everybody be careful. I said y'all listen and watch out, and y'all give them your thoughts and prayers too. They're up north where that storm's going. That's exciting. Let's see. I have those issues with the pebbles. Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm just trying to do that. And also, but if you got the pebbles, it's not a total loss, and don't get rid of them. Don't just throw them away, because you can use them in your garden. You can still use them like we're using them. They do work. So I'm not like saying just go buy sand and just throw those away. But if you're having problems with it, or you just don't like it, or you don't like the smell, some people are saying, after. See, I'm thinking like microgreens grow in 7 to 10 days, and I start over, and 8 out of 10 of the questions was, how do you refill it? And I wasn't refilling it. I was growing it, harvesting, starting over, growing it, harvesting. And I started this thought at the beginning of the show, and I'm just now getting back around to it. But what I want you guys to do is, when you learn how to do this, when you see me doing it in like 5 minutes, if you guys worked in the hospitality industry, I was asking who works in anything like a restaurant or anything. And some other places have this too. But if you were a cook or worked in the kitchen, you would come in and you'd get set up, you go through your shift, and before you leave, you would do prep. And you'd either prep for the shift coming after you, or you'd prep for the next day, or you'd prep for 2 days, or whatever. It depends on how long stuff had to sit and wait. And you would do that every single day. You would go in, you would cook. When you're done, it was just like, what's my prep work? And you'd go do your prep work before you left. If you guys get in the habit of working, but it's not work, if you get in the habit of cooking, harvesting, you go ahead and harvest some, you have some growing. And remember, we don't plant everything, have everything growing at one time, right? Have some stuff growing, plant 1 or 2, have fun, 5-10 minutes, nothing. Have those growing. When you harvest something, and you've got like 5 or 6 now, you harvest one, don't wait until you go through everything that you've grown. Go out, go get one, plan it out. It takes you 5 or 10 minutes, and pretend it's your prep for your food. It's just like you're in a restaurant, and this is your prep for your meals for the next couple of days or something, or 2 or 3 days from now. So imagine if you were growing these microgreens to put on your plates at a restaurant, and you were growing them yourself. You wouldn't wait until you totally ran out and then say, well, everybody's got to wait 7 days because we're going to plant some more microgreens. You would go ahead and keep a steady thing going. So if it was a lot of work, like going out and tilling and weeding and all of that stuff, then it would be a lot of work to do every day. But if you go ahead and most of you probably aren't eating microgreens every single day. So if you eat 2-3 times a week, when you go ahead and eat it that day or the next day, you don't have to like right after dinner go do it. Maybe the next day, go ahead and plant one out. If you use the tray, go plant 1 tray. And then if you want to get a little ahead, you use 1, plant 2 trays at that time. And don't get overwhelmed. Don't go out there and plant like 20 like you see me doing my videos, because I'm showing people what's possible. There's some people out there that have 16 people in their family. Okay. And then there's some people that have 1 person or 2 people in their family. So things are a little different. So sometimes I plant a lot because I want to show people what's possible. And you can totally go out there and just plant 1 or plant 2, take a couple of minutes and have a couple of them coming behind it. Take your time, enjoy it, have fun, watch the stuff grow. And like I said, go out there and have fun. Like we've got cantaloupe sprouted right now. We can go harvest cantaloupe. And then we've got some we just planted today or yesterday that will be coming in a couple of days, because we're eating melons when they're in season right now. Like every couple of days, we're eating another melon. And even if you don't eat those, that's free seeds that I bet 99% of you are tossing in the trash or into the compost pile and hoping a volunteer plant comes up. That's free seeds that you can practice growing a tray of microgreens. And when those grow, you can eat them if you want. And if you don't, you didn't lose any money, but you gain knowledge. So we've all got stuff that we can take and plant and have fun and mess around with. And then you're not going out and spending a whole lot of money on seeds. Well, I get running my mouth and go off on a tangent, don't I? I thought sand increases your chance of root rot, E. coli, salmonella, and other pathogens. Keely, are you trying to get me going? Or was that a question from somebody? Do you think sand will work for Lily's Dollar Tree frog planter with paper towel, or does it need to be soil? No, you can try it with sand. I'm gonna try a couple of them here. I've got a bunch of the um, takeout trays, the black ones, the food prep trays. And because of the weather, we were waiting for the weather to clear up. We're going to plant a lot of those out too and give that a try. So, yeah, let's just have fun and everybody try a bunch of different things and see what works. And now you guys have seen like my whole video that's going to be out tomorrow. I use dirty clay pebbles, mix a little soil and seed sticks. Yep, a little soil, that works. Coral sand has silt. Yeah, has salt. Yeah, so you just want to, I'm not saying you can go like out to the beach, like we've got an endless supply of sand out there and just get that sand and just use that. That's why I just went and used the play sand, because it says that you can use it in your garden. You could also put the roots in a fine mesh strainer to get the sand off. Yeah, definitely. So what did Keely say up here? Was that somebody's question, Keely, that I missed? Sand increases your chance of root rot, E. coli, salmonella. Okay, let's address this real quick. And what time is it? I'll let you all go, and I'll go through the comments, see if I miss any. So put question if you have any more comments. Root rot, hydroponics. Everybody just look that up. If not all plants like the roots wet all the time, but if you go back, people are growing lettuce, hydroponic lettuce for years, decades. They grow hydroponic lettuce on what's called a raft system. So they flood it. It's got the nutrients, and they got styrofoam raft that floats right on it. And the roots are going right down in it. The only place that it has room for air roots is just wherever the styrofoam's at. They're not leaving an airspace. And lettuce, if you guys bought hydroponic lettuce in the store, you saw roots that were like that long or whatever, right? And if you guys have saw some of the commercial towers, I forgot what's the name, you guys, if anybody knows the name, these guys have like it's not the juice one. They have hydroponic towers, and sometimes they'll have videos with like 50 of them somewhere, and they've been setting them up at like airports and businesses and that. But sometimes you'll see them growing, big like pak choy and kale and that in there, and they'll pull them out of there and they'll have these long roots, and it's all wet. So there's some plants that can take, their roots can be wet all the time. So the root rot thing is if it's like in a container, we don't have flowing water, and you let it get up like above 100 degrees, and there's different things that can cause it, but it's not going to be the sand. E. coli, salmonella, like pathogens and that. I need to make a video on that because I get this all the time, and people just it gets to the point where it kind of angers me. And I know people are concerned, but there's some people jump on and just say stuff like, enjoy your E. coli, just smart asses, and they leave. E. coli comes from a bacteria from the gut of an animal, like a cow. And the reason why people get E. coli is because the livestock, the food lots are being put close to or like right across the street from crops like lettuce and spinach. And they're taking all of that waste. They used to just be runoff, and you would occasionally get it, and the runoff would be heading towards the farms that were out there growing the stuff that we eat raw. Some places, and they got in trouble, a swine farm, to get rid of this, they had these big lakes of urine and poop from pigs. They would, the stalls that they're in, they all just poop on the ground. It goes through these grates and gets pumped out, and it's in this huge lake, and these people were living there. And to get rid of it, they would take it, and the irrigation things that you see them spraying over the farms, they would be spraying it out there. And it wasn't spraying it on fields, it would just spraying it so that it would go up into the air where the heat is, and it would dissipate. And these people were smelling pig poop, was just like floating around in the air where they live, like hours a day. Now these places do that too, and that stuff just floats in the air and it lands on stuff that you eat. Now, we all don't get as much sickness from all of this right now. It's because whether you know it or not, a lot of that stuff, if you're getting it from commercial or bagged or whatever, is getting washed, and it says triple washed. And one time that they wash it is actually in bleach water, and it's a weak solution in that, but it's stuff to sanitize it too. So some of your stuff's washed through bleach and stuff because they know that there's pathogens. Another thing you can get it from is because people, farm workers, are out there, and when you see them a mile out picking stuff in the field, if they've got to go to the bathroom, they're not running a mile somewhere to go pee and a mile back or something. And you know, you look at the field, you don't see porta potties everywhere, and they're peeing out in the fields and stuff, and they're doing stuff and not having anywhere to wash their hands. So those are the kind of things that you get E. coli, salmonella from. Salmonella and stuff is from like chickens and everything. You're not going to get salmonella from your plants that you're just growing unless you handle something that's not supposed, you're not supposed to be handling. If you grow the stuff at home, I'm pretty sure, I hope y'all are a little more careful than people that don't know you that are handling your food. You're probably washing your hands and being a little more sanitary than like your neighbor would be handling your food or something, or a stranger would be handling your food, right? So that's where a lot of these pathogens are coming from. It's not coming from your water inside of the hydroponics. Did I go off of it? Was that enough of a rant? You could also said that. So y'all let me know if I have questions here. Thanks for sharing this info about the different sand types. No problem. Do you have adapters for the wide mouth mason jars? I purchased several others. I do. I don't sell them, but if you contact me, I can get some for you and put them up for sale, and I'll tell you, hey, there's some for sale, and you can go get them right then. I usually don't because they're bigger, because they're wide mouth, and they take a whole lot more material, and they take a lot more time to print. So if I have those up all the time and I get a ton of orders, they eat up all my time on my 3D machine, and then I don't have time to print everything else. So I had to kind of streamline things, and the things that took the most time I cut out so that I had time to print more of the other ones. So I've got another machine that I'm setting that one up, and I can get more if we need, but the more you put out, the more energy you use. And, I'll be having a 3D farm pretty soon. So just let me know. And if you do, I can get them to you, but I won't have them like just for everybody. Troy time. What's up? Y'all, Troy's got a YouTube channel. Y'all go check that out. I'm late to the party. Just getting off now. Just getting on. Thanks much, Mike. I have been waiting to see. Hey, yeah, no problem, Troy. Glad to have you here. I want to see the ramen trays to grow in. The ramen trays, it's right there. See, right there on the bottom right with the roots in it. That's what I use. Right there in the bottom right. And then I think you saw me dumping the sand into it right there. They're just the ones that yakisoba comes in. Hey, Troy. Mike, are the 3D print files still accessible? Makes the bottle adapters. If so, where can the bottles? Yeah, not any of the refillable ones right now. The ones that I had up before, I have them around here. The ones for the mason jar, the ones for the Coke bottles, but go check them out. If you need the files, go get them now, because I'm taking them down, and I have to go back through the program and take my name off. I explained that last night, so I'm not going to bore everybody with that, but I put the file up with my name, Keep On Growing, and some people have been taking it and printing up really crappy ones. I thought if you print it, they all come out the same if they took my file, but we all have a slicing program, and they use one that they can print a lot faster and use cheaper material, and the thing comes out just looking like crap. And I don't mind that. They can do that and sell it. That's their name. It's their shop, but it's got my name, Keep On Growing, on it. So I'm going to take those files down and go back into my program and remove that, and then re-upload the files. So If y'all want them, they're on there. It's on Thingiverse. I'm Keep On Growing. I think it's keep_on_growing. I have a fig tree from George Washington. Hey, cool. Mount Vernon, all cut from his tree. That's how they do it in sand. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. That's a cool story. See, that's the kind of thing that can make a video. And you guys who are thinking, like a channel on that, that's something with like a story behind it that you can make, a 10, 15-minute video that's like really, really cool. Thank you. I'm so thankful for your patient training. Hey, no problem. That's what I'm here for. Just doing my best. Like I said, this video, normally I would be in there tonight, finish editing, come out here, do a voiceover, and then put it out tomorrow. And I said, let me just go on. This way I can talk to people. They can have questions. I can answer them. And if they want to watch a video tomorrow, they can. If not, no big deal. There's 8 billion people in the world. Somebody else will watch it. Kid drama. Got to go. All right, Jenny. Catch you later. Thanks for doing all of this. Thank you, too. We really appreciate it. You're washing the roots to eat? No, to compost. There will be a ton of sand on it. And like I was telling everyone else, even with the hydrogen, with my hydroponics, with the cracky and all that, it's sitting in nutrient solution. And just because you're not going to get E. coli or something, it's not the best thing to eat. And it's been sitting, it's water that's just been sitting around for 7 to 10 days. And then if you put it into a cracky container and sitting there for months, who knows what's in it, right? So it might not be something that hurt the plant, but I'm definitely not going to eat it. It all goes into compost. And that's what, if you guys keep doing that, where you keep growing stuff and keep taking these things out and just dropping it, it can be compost. You can just drop it. I know your yard might look like a mess, but you might have a section of your yard, you can just toss it down. In a couple of days, these things dry out in the sun and they just go back into the earth. They're just organic matter that just keeps feeding your soil. Can you sanitize the sand? Yeah, that's up to you. Like I said, this is all basic, minimal stuff. This was my first trials, and I tried to do things with as little steps as possible and as little money and as little equipment so that just about anyone can do it. I want to make it easy. ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. And then from there, if you have a problem and if you want to sanitize it, or you want to take it and set it in sand, or you just want to get rid or set it in sun or get rid of it and buy some new ones, you can all do better. Or if you listen to, I don't even know, some other people might be out there growing in sand. Like they said, some people are doing root cuttings and they might be sterilizing things and everything too. Like Neil said, hydrogen peroxide can sanitize. When you saw it in the bucket where it's all just sitting in there like that and floats to the bottom, that would be a good time. I rinse mine out in 5 minutes, but you definitely could just take it and put your little H2O2 right there and let that sit for a couple hours or overnight and then come back and rinse it out. But just doing it like that was just like really easy. Thanks, Mike. No problem, Texas Nurse. Gardening. Yeah, I think, okay, garden, tower garden. iHarvest. Yeah, our iHarvest was another one. It was the name of their company though. It wasn't, I know AgroThrive is the nutrients that I tried. It was something like that with agro something in it. That stuff has to be introduced to get it. Yeah, that's right. And then once it's there, it can grow. But, E. coli, animal poo is organic fertilizer. Yeah, that's right. And that's what I was like when we're talking about algae and stuff, and people like coming up and just, talking about all its bacteria and everything. And I'm like, you're actually literally growing in poop, so it's, I said that, everything's all breaking down and it's all part of nature, but you're out there growing in dirt, talking about microbes and worms and things decomposing and manure, and you're worried about master blend inside of some water being stagnant and like that's the thing that's going to have all the nasty stuff in it. It is not recommended to not use sand in the pond for hydroponics the way you use, and I can see it be safer. No fish poop. Yeah, Keely's got a little pond that we got going. Yes, truth. There's a video about the pork industry. Be prepared if you decide to watch it. Okay, yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, so that was pretty bad because that was some of the people there was like childhood homes where they had been there and the house was passed down like through the generations. And now all of a sudden, if they they keep doing that, you don't want to live where they're like constantly spraying pig poop and up into the air. Good on y'all. Thank you. From the movie The Incredibles, did you wash your hands with soap? Did you wash it? Yeah, I like that. Did they was there I've only seen the first one. Was there like a couple of them? Awesome. Thank you. Okay, let me go through real quick. Are we almost done? Do you have the new file on the new Thingiverse? No, I do not yet. And I think I just explained that. You might have commented before I did that, but it's going to take me a while. I'm going to go back and fix the other ones first. And if y'all are patient, sooner or later, I'll get these up there too. And I know that people just sell their STL files, and some people have a Patreon where they sell them and all that too, but I'm just giving them out free. So if you don't have a 3D printer, I make it available where you can buy them. I print them, I make them, and if other people just want to print them up themselves, comes out cheaper, a couple of bucks in filament, but then it takes you like over an hour. So if you've got time, that's fine. It's just like me. I've only got so many hours in a day, so I can only do so many. But I give away that file if anybody needs it. If you can do the 3D printing, you have to know how to slice it and do the programming for that. But if you can, I should have a little live stream one night, and it'll probably just be a couple people come in. But if anyone has any questions about how I run that, because I'm a newbie, I can give them all my tips and tricks on how I do this without knowing the whole world of 3D printing and that. I see all this cool stuff like these people, because I'm 3D printing and YouTube has all these suggestions, and I see all these people printing up all these like dragons and cosplay costumes and helmets and the new Wolverine like whole outfit and everything and all kind of Star Wars stuff. And I'm over there just my printer's running on just printing these, and that's all they're printing is just these adapters. And I've had them running straight like every day ever since we got them back when we started. Was it February, March, something like that? Actually found those last night by accident. Oh, cool. Nice. You're the reason I tried hydroponic without pumps. Awesome. Cool. I love it. I got a pump out back sitting there. We might, since I just got it, just put it to use, but it's just sitting on the ground because we took the living wall down, and instead of put something else up, I'm putting the milk jugs with no pump, and maybe I'll do that first and then I'll put it back with the pump, and we're going to try all kinds of things. It's going to be lots of fun. So make sure you're following and click the bell or whatever they say. Or yes, I was there. There was more than one. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you so much for the channel. No problem. Thanks. So let's see. Is this just everybody? Thanks. Thank you so much. Cool. We're getting on an hour, and I think I went through Keely, Mike Venduzzi. That's a good idea about the 3D printing. Yeah, cool. So we'll get that out for everybody. Ignore everyone each night at 8 p.m. to hang out. This is awesome. I ignore everyone. Hey, appreciate it. Hillbilly. That's Dan, right? All right. So that's it. If anybody has any questions, I've got the video coming out probably tomorrow if I can get the narration done. But you guys pretty much have seen the video, and I narrated, live here, so you pretty much know everything. All the other people who didn't come into live stream, they'll have to watch the video on that. But if you guys have any questions, just pop on that video and ask it, or DM me, or email me, or anything like that. Did y'all want to do one giveaway before we go? If everybody wants to stay, we'll just do one real quick, the refillable one. How's that? Since I'm printing these up right now. And let me get the giveaway thing. We're just going to put, y'all wait till I get this set up and I put the thing on the screen, because a lot of people put their name in, started doing the hashtag before I did. But we're just going to do hashtag yes or something, okay? So let me type this. Yes. Give me 1 second. And then after this, I'm going to let you all go. Let's see. We're going to take this off. Remove. What do we got? Oh, our cat and duck.
7.
We'll do those tomorrow. There we are. All right. Who can see that? I'll make myself small. All right. Hashtag yes. I'll put it in here. If I win, I'll just spin again. But just do like this. Hashtag yes. If you want one of these adapters. Just like that. And I'll give you all a couple of minutes. And how about if we use this time so that we're not wasting time afterwards? Everybody say their good nights and chit chat amongst yourselves. I want to take a little time just to say thank you and everything. Make sure you put hashtag yes and then chit chat, say good night, and we're gonna have the drawing, and then I'm gonna let y'all go and cut y'all out so that it doesn't end up being 90 minutes. But y'all let me know what else you would like to see or do, and if you just want more tutorials. And some things will go, if you don't get everything one night, we can do things several times. That's what the good thing about these live streams. I can just do a demonstration. We're gonna start going out in the yard once the weather's nicer. We'll get the internet hooked up out there, so we'll be doing like planting demonstrations out in the yard. I'm going to be cooking out there, and we'll just talk and cook, and it'll be just like you're sitting here at a cookout with us. Lots of stuff. So I can do some of the demonstrations in here, but I'm not sure I want to do the sand one in here, because if you accidentally miss, if I'm outside, it's just on the nursery table and I just scoop it up and put it back in. Here it'll be all over the computer and audio equipment and everything. Okay, let's see. So everybody's had a couple minutes, right? I'm going to hit start collecting comments, and we'll see how many are in there. Cool. Okay, so it's got 20. I probably should have entered. You're sending me this. That's all right. Everybody can win again. And everybody's going to have plenty of chances too. All right, so I'm going to hit spin. I'll do a little countdown, everybody. Hashtag yes. And we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw. Look at all those names. Amy, Todd, Carol, Deborah, Two-Speak, Innate, Neil, Michelle, Patricia. Congratulations, Patricia. Is that Collie or Coley? Let me get my email here. Brand banners. 1 second, guys, and then we're going to let you go right there. Bigger. Patricia, just email me right there, and we'll exchange information, and I'll get that out to you. Any of these products. Okay, that's all on there. Back to the comments real quick. All right, congratulations, everybody. Just say congratulations, like the dog. Cool, thank you as always. Super dudes, I like that. That was better than pool noodle guy. Everybody was calling me pool noodle guy, like I didn't even know, over on Reddit and everything. So I'll be super dudes or Mr. Doozy. Congratulations, congratulations. Good night. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna put on the music, let this run for like 2 minutes. Everybody say good night, and get out there, live to inspire, keep on growing, and be the change. Much love.